And now, WolfBytes Open Mic.
The Bass Jackers.
I just came home actually from tour.
Hey guys, this is Phoenix Paul.
Hey, what's up? This is Sean Frank.
WolfBytes DJs and your favorite artists.
Sophie Francis. Sophie, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, super nice to join you guys.
What's up, guys? This is Ahmed Van Buren.
Now, Open Mic.
Hey guys, it's DjWhtDaHek here again with another edition of Open Mic. Today, my guest is Alec, also known as Man Cub. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what's going on right now, man? You just kind of chilling out today?
Yeah, just it's kind of the same old thing. Just make music every day. COVID life is kind of a producer's dream, just get locked in your room and make the best of the music time that you have,
How's it been with COVID? Have you been able to go out much at all?
Not too much. New Mexico's gotten kind of up and down like most states, but we're pretty strict. So, I thought it would be helpful at first, but eventually your creativity is kind of like, it's the same thing every day, You like to get out of things and go out and do stuff to kind of break the habits. So, but
I've never been to New Mexico before. And I'm curious, on the chance that I do get to go when everything opens back up, what do you think would be like a destination must go do?
We have the Sandia Mountains, and Breaking Bad was here. So a lot of people like to go see the sites of, if you're a Breaking Bad fan, like, Walter White's house or like things like that, people like to go see. But yeah, the Sandia Peaks are really pretty. So the tram. Yeah.
Tram. Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
What do you like to do in your free time outside of producing and all that?
So I'm a big exercise guy. So I like to, I like to run, work out. I actually have a degree in exercise physiology. So I was a personal trainer for a little while I was kind of, trying to get going with music. And so, definitely like to exercise and do stuff outside. So
the personal training thing kind of sounds like something you can do in quarantine over Zoom too, like do a personal training Zoom session or something with people.
Yeah, it would be. I actually stopped doing that. I got a job working for Shutterstock, like making stock music. And that's actually how I got better at making music, was making these stock like commercial songs that are just instrumentals used in like YouTube or ESPN, Facebook, stuff like that. And so I do that instead now, and I just can work from wherever. So
nice.
Yeah.
So that kind of is what got you into actually saying, all right, I want to do this as a career, producing and making music.
Yeah, actually my friend, my freshman year of college got me a torrented copy of FL Studio. I've since bought FL Studio. But my freshman year of college, that's how I got started, was producing, I was trying to make rap beats and stuff like that. And then, 6 years later, finished school, and I got a job with Shutterstock. I just sent them demos, and I was like, this is absolutely what I want to do. And eventually I submitted a demo to this website called, I think it was called like, I don't even remember. It's some demo submission website, and then Enhanced Music found it on there, and then they signed me. So that's kind of how I got started.
What was it like signing with Enhanced? That must have been super exciting.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, so I was going through this weird time in my life, and I just randomly went to France for a month. Just didn't know what I was doing. And I was making pretty good money from Shutterstock at the time for me. And so I was like, I'm just going to go to Europe for a month and like figure my life out or something. And then when I got back, I was like, I'm going to start submitting demos. And so I sent that one into Enhanced, and they got back to me, and I was like, I don't think this is real. Like, that was too fast and too easy. I just like submitted this demo. And then I was emailing him, and I was like, okay, actually, this guy seems pretty legit. And he was like, yeah, we want to sign. Is this for real? Like, I can't tell if this is real still. And eventually it was like, okay, this is actually happening. And so it's kind of was weird. It was like a weird thing because I wanted to do that for, 6 or 7 years, and then it finally happened, and I was like, what the heck? This is crazy. So.
And where did you decide on the name Man Cub?
So I was like juggling a bunch of different names, and it's hard to come up with something like, because my name Alec Burvey is like, when you read it, no one can say my last name. So I was like, well, I need to come up with something better than that. And I'm a big like fan of the Jungle Book. It's like one of my favorite kid. I just love the songs in that movie. And so I was like, well, Man Cub is like a fun, like catchy name that is easily remembered. And I want my music to be like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't have an amazing story for it, but I landed on it, and here I am. So I'm sticking with it.
Influences from Jungle Book.
Influences from Jungle Book. Yeah, great story. I know.
Yeah. Well, if there's ever like a new Jungle Book movie, maybe you can put some of your tracks in that at some point.
That would be awesome.
We'll hope for a new remake then or something.
Yeah.
I just wanna crash into you and breathe in the moment. Time barely moves and we don't even notice. My heart's breaking open. Breathe in the moment.
Well, let's talk some music. We talked about signing with Enhanced. How about your track Breathe in the Moment with Haleen? What was it like working with Haleen, and how did that track come about?
Yes, so that's actually a interesting story because I didn't work with her directly. Usually when I work with singers, it's like I have an instrumental demo and then I share it with them. And then typically I would like to work with like the vocalist writing the lyrics and everything. But with Haleen, APEC actually sent me what he had been working on with her already. And then I completely changed everything. I like rewrote the entire song basically to the vocal, and it was completely different. And so it was really fun. It was almost like a remix kind of, because APEC and Haleen already had it started. And so for me as a producer, like other producers know this too, like it's so easy. Like when you get a good vocal, it's just like really inspiring, and like it's beautiful to listen to because it's already there. And so it was really easy to make and fun to make. And yeah, her voice is beautiful. So obviously like really easy to work with. And I've heard she's great. I've never actually met her. So
Oh, wow.
okay. But yeah. So that was, yeah.
How long did it take to like fully remake that? Was that like a couple days, or was that like more than that?
Well, I work like, making music for me is kind of like, I like painting analogies for making music. So it's kind of like throwing paint at a canvas or a wall, and seeing what sticks. And then like, once you see the colors, you see what you like, and then you can go back and paint over what you don't like. And so with her, with that song, it was pretty quick because like the initial foundation was there. And so I was just throwing stuff at it, and then it happened in like maybe a week, which is pretty fast for me. So usually songs take more like 3 or 4 weeks for me to get done. So.
Well, that was a great track. We love it here at the station. So
Cool.
Another one that was really awesome to see you work with, Tritonal on Worth It All. What was it like working with them?
Yeah, so Worth It All. So whenever I signed with Enhanced, I was talking with Will, who is the, I think, owner of Enhanced, and he flew me out to LA to work with some songwriters. And so it was my first time working with songwriters. And so I was super nervous because I can barely sing. I mean, I can sing in tune, but like no one wants to hear me too long. And so I was in this room with like songwriters trying to like co-write. And the first song that I ever did with other writers was Worth It All. And so it was a really cool process. and I had the initial like, you know, instrumental that we wrote to, and everyone was kind of like vibing with it and really liked it. But then 6 months go by and I'm like trying to finish this album, and I just can't finish the song. I'm just super stuck. And then Will from Enhanced was like, well, you know, the guys at Tritonal loved the initial demo and they actually wanted it. So like, cool, like let's collaborate on it. And obviously I would, you know, I loved collaborating with Tritonal. It was great. And so then they jumped on and then totally like made it work. And it was a true collaboration because I sent them what we had. They sent me some, you know, it was kind of trancey initially, more of like a traditional kind of trance, 2014 kind of trance song. And then I did some stuff and then I sent it back and then they did some stuff. And so it was fun. It was like an actual collaboration. And I talked to Chad from Tritonal on the phone a handful of times. And it was cool. Like, it was cool chatting with someone that was as nerdy about the production stuff as me. Like, getting into all the nitty gritty details of like, you know, transients and like, you know, too much low mid frequencies in this section or whatever. It's just like, it's nice when someone's speaking your language when you're doing it, you know? And so that was cool.
Yeah, I talked with Chad, and he is very, very detailed and in depth with things. He was awesome to talk to.
Yeah,
And that song,
really nice. It was really nice to talk to him.
Yeah, and that song in particular, I was listening to it. I was like, this sounds like Tritonal, and then I was like, this definitely sounds like Man Cub based on what you've been putting out. So I was like, this sounds great put together. It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's what keeps us holding on when the afterglow is gone into the night. We can cope, but we're living here alone. Wide awake, you hold your phone, your only light. Tossing and turning, just can't get it right. Stop the hurting or stay here and fight. Oh, is it wrong to let you go? Or should we give it one more try? Is it wrong to let you go? Or should I tell you one more lie? 'Cause I know this house is about to burn down. We started this fire, we can't put it out. But you've been holding me so close.
Another track that I'm really enjoying, which is again with DjWhtDaHek, is Wrong to Let You Go. So what was it like putting this one together?
Yeah, that one was, I'm trying to think how that one was actually really difficult. So Worth It All and Wrong to Let You Go were both probably the two most difficult songs I've ever had to make. So Worth It All took, I think, 13 months before it came out.
Wow.
Since we wrote it. And then Wrong to Let You Go was about the same. I think it was like a year since the writers wrote it. And I made this initial version that was more of like an Illenium kind of drop. And it was cool. And I sent it to the label and I sent it to DjWhtDaHek and April and everyone, and they all liked it. And they're like, this is cool. Like, let's run with this. Like, let's just change a few things. And then I was like, I hate this. Like, I went home to my parents' house, and then a month went by and I was like, I just hate this. And so I was like, guys, I'm just going to redo it. And so I just threw the whole thing away and started it over from scratch. And then I sent DjWhtDaHek and April that little like vocal chop lead, the main drop or instrumental section, and they were like, this is amazing, like we love this so much. And then I was like, okay, well, this is I like this a lot too. This is much better. So anyway, yeah. And then I made the guitar for the intro, and I was like, I just really like this. So it paid off though. The process.
The long wait in the process paid off. So you do play guitar?
I do, yeah. I'm not like an incredible guitarist by any means. But what's good about having a good ear is like you can manipulate the audio and do things that you know what you want it to sound like. And so I can play well enough. So
is there any other instruments you know how to play or would like to learn maybe? Yeah,
so I play guitar and piano, and I play well enough to play like some live. And so I would love to do that one day. I played drums, percussion in middle school, and that was like the most fun thing. So I would love to like learn how to play the drum kit. That'd be really fun.
You could almost be like a one-man band. Drums, definitely. Piano, and guitar.
That would be great. A little too much work probably. Yeah. But that's fun though. That's true.
Well, I mean, if it took 6 months, maybe you can put together something in 6 months else like that. So maybe.
Yeah.
Even if it hurts and it shows, gotta tell how it is. We both took the fall and we're better like this. Thought I couldn't be without you, couldn't breathe without you, but I'm better now.
Let's talk Better Now.
Better Now that one's funny. That one was actually written there's a track on my album called East of Eden. Mm-hmm. And it's like a melodic dubstep kind of track that was just a fun song. And Better Now was written to that song, actually, because they're both in D major. And I didn't like it for East of Eden, and neither did my label. But I was like, Jen has an amazing voice. Like her and Cersina, Molly Cersina, they probably have the two best voices that I've ever worked with. Like they're so good. And Jen is like unreal, which is why I was stoked to have her on Better Now and Good Enough. And Good Enough actually went through 7 or 8 vocalists before we finished on that one. And anyway, so Better Now, I had the vocal for that one, and then I rewrote a whole new song for that vocal, which, like I said before, like when you have a good vocal like that, it's just so much more fun because you just have a foundation and you're ready. I mean, yeah, you can just write a song to it. And so I wrote the guitar for that one too, and that's how it started, was with the guitar. And it was like, sweet, I love this little guitar riff. And so, yeah, that's how that one started.
That's another great track too. And yeah, amazing voice on that one as well. My goodness.
Yeah, and I love the theme of that song too, because it's like very hopeful, and everyone can do. It's like everyone goes through heartbreak at some point, you know.
You mentioned your album. Let's talk about it. You've got your Impressions album. So
yeah.
Is it, I don't know, impressions of other artists you've done, or is it, what do we got?
Yeah. No, that's a fair question. It's kind of twofold. So, you know, initially, the idea started with like every artist, like as an artist, you make an album, like it's just kind of what you do, I guess. Just kind of create a body of work. And so that's how it started. And then my label was like, well, what do you have inspiration wise for the concept of the album, the cover, the title? And so, you know, I'm just scrolling through stock photos and different images on like Pinterest and mood boards, creating a mood board. And I found this image of this guy, and he was standing in front of these paintings hanging on a wall. And if you see my album cover, it's obviously like it's supposed to be me standing in front of these paintings.
Right.
And I was like, it would be really cool. I mean, that's a really cool idea because it's this guy that made these paintings, and he's kind of looking at the body of works that he's made, and they're impressions of what they're impressions of like his interpretation of art. You know, it's like we make art because of the impressions that have been left on us, and so we do our best impression of art, you know. And then at the same time, it's like I feel like as an artist, it's so hard to be genuine and authentic. You guys, I mean, honestly, that even now that are really truly authentic, and so it's hard to be authentic. And so, you know, I was like, well, it's kind of also just me doing impressions of other producers, and I'm okay with that. And so that's where the album concept came from. I know that was wordy, sorry, but
that was cool. Knowing that now makes the album cover that much more interesting to look at and see. That's really cool.
yeah.
And you did, I think it was like an Instagram video where you're like, hey, message me like some artists and I'll do like impressions of them.
Yeah, so I did because of the album, you know, theme concept, I was like, well, I might as well just go like full send and like do legitimate impressions of other producers.
Right.
And so I'm pretty good at doing different ones. And so I did a Griffin one. It sounded like just so much like every Griffin song. I really like it.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, he's so good. And then I did an Millennium one. And then I did a Dead one. And I'm very good at Millennium and Dead and Dead especially because him, Vici, and Skrillex were like as I'm sure a lot of people that like EDM, those were three of the like OGs, you know.
Yeah.
And and so anyway, then I got a bunch of messages and they're like, dude, you have to release this. Like, bro, this is sick. Like this, you got to release this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe. And so actually the Millennium, the one that started as an Millennium impression, is probably going to come out in January. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to say what label, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come out in January. So that's cool. Something came of it.
Awesome. We'll look forward to that one in January. Maybe a Man Cub and a Millennium collab one day, full on. That sound would be really good because Millennium.
I'm up. Reach out to Nick for me and let him know that I'm.
All right, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Well, you have the Impressions album, but you also have the Impressions album, the remixes. So are those more of you impressing other artists, or are they back the other way?
I know, it's like a weird circle. So that one came about because, you know, the label Enhanced was like, it would be great if we did this remix album, and I was like, that sounds kind of strange to me because I've always been on the other side of remixes. But it was really cool. And then as soon as we got the first set of remixes back, it was for In a Dream, I'm pretty sure. And they were so cool, like Out Wild and Murtaugh. I think I'm not sure how you say his name, but they were so good. And then 85 obviously was like insane because I've watched his production tutorials on YouTube, and so to have him like remix one of my songs was like so cool. And then Awakened did a great job. Caslow, I don't know, they were all really good.
It's interesting as an artist, and then you have another artist like remix your song. Was there any like nervousness about it, like, oh no, I hope this is good and it's not something, oh, what'd you do to my song type of thing?
It's weird. It's like, it's weird because part of you is saying, I don't want AU5 to like just stand me up on this song because he totally did, and like make a way better version of my song than I made, you know. But then at the same time, it's not like that at all. It's just like, this is a beautiful take of, and that's what's cool about remixes, is just your interpretation of, you know, that original form of, I don't know, that original work. And so after it happened, I was like, this is just so cool. And I'm like just a fan of these guys now. And it's just really fun. And there was none of that, like, well, he just showed me up or whatever. It's just really cool. So yeah, it was fun.
Started with you doing impressions of other artists. Now they're doing it of you, and it's full circle. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, because I that way.
Yeah, awesome. Well, in terms of new stuff coming up, you mentioned a potential Millennium Sounding one coming January. What else?
Yeah.
What else could be in the works?
Yeah, so that one's called Enough. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out. I don't want to say for sure, but
Right.
yeah, Enough, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out early January. There's one with Maggie York, and I co-wrote a song with her, the lyrics, that's gonna come out end of January with Enhanced. And that one I'm really excited about. I worked really hard on that one. And then there's an Ocean Eyes cover that Molly did, Tina, and I actually just bootlegged it for fun. And so I just made because it's an acoustic version of Ocean that she did, and her voice is just gorgeous. And so the cover that she did is just acoustic guitar and vocals. And so I was like, this would be super easy to make a bootleg of, because I could just add all my stuff in on top of this vocal that's already there. And then I shared it with them, and they were like, this is amazing. And I was like, cool, I'm glad you liked it. And then they were like, no, really, let's release this. And I was like begging them to release it, because I loved it. At that point, I was like, well, now we have to, don't tease me, we got to release it. So eventually they agreed. And so end of February, that Ocean Eyes remix is going to come out. And I get messages about that one more than most of my songs, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I get messages because it's not out, on Spotify. They're like, when's this coming to Spotify? And so, yeah, so now it's finally coming out. So it's really exciting for me. Yeah. And then besides that, I have lots of instrumentals that I'm trying to find singers for and stuff. And so it'd be really fun. It'll be fun to see what comes of 2021. And yeah, hopefully lots more new music.
So you're gonna be busy in the next 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that will be exciting. We'll be looking forward to new Man Cub music coming then, and we'll see what we can do about Millennium.
Yeah.
Well, Alec, thanks for doing this, man. This was awesome, and we'll definitely be looking forward to all the new tracks you got coming up.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, that was Alec Man Cub here on this latest edition of Open Mic. I'll see you guys next time.